focused on the work of this movie.
Jesus, really?
Began filming 2 months after it completed principal photography, but it was released 1 week earlier. So Rennie Harlin had 2 fucking movies in theaters that were new in the same month.
At least Die Hard 2 made money.
Yeah. Rennie Harlin is a big name, so...
Yeah, no, in the grand scheme of things, like now in the year 2019, Rennie Harlin, you're like, oh, from so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, yeah.
I'm like, trust me, I'm the only one who says A Nightmare on Elm Street 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? After many letters of protest from classic car enthusiasts, the film's production company said that an actual 1957 Ford Fairlane was not blown up in the explosion. It was a fiberglass replica body of a newer Ford chassis.
Yeah, they wouldn't blow up an
never
actual
blow that
classic
up.
Ford Fairlane.
There's no way.
Jesus
First
Christ.
of all, it's too expensive. Second of all, why would they do that? The film's soundtrack includes Idol's Cradle of Love, which we played in the beginning, the video for which was shown on MTV in 1990. The song also appeared on Idol's 1990 album Charmed Life. It was a staple of his live show. The video features footage from the film playing on a television in the neighbor's home, although none of the footage features Clay, at least not his face. This may be due to the fact that he was banned from appearing on MTV.
Even in video form?
Yeah, I guess so.
Like, he can't even, like...
They did not want anything to do with him, I guess.
Hey!
Not that fucking guy. Not that fucking guy.
You get a stunt double.
Yeah, apparently. A number of musicians featured on the soundtrack also appear in the film itself, including Morris Day, Sheila E., and Tone Loc.
Well, if you're going to have them in the movie...
Yeah. I mean...
Have them sing.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get to the Tone Loc appearance, but what do I do to get that to happen in front of my house? Just have Tone Loc and his buddies just rapping in front of my home. How do I get this to happen?
Play, I suppose.
You know what I mean? Former Ozzy Osbourne bassist Phil Soussan and drummer Randy Castillo appear playing the Black Plague concert during the flashback at the beginning of the film. Pretty much. So why you didn't get the rest of Motley Crue, I don't know. Oh wait, they weren't together at that time.
1990? Oh yeah.
No, Vince was out. This was the brief period when he wasn't in the band, I believe. I think so.
Was it? Yeah.
I don't know.
It was right around that time.
Yeah. Vince Neil, the lead singer of Motley Crue, as Bobby Black, the lead singer of the fictitious band Black Plague. Black Plague's lead guitarist was played by Quiet Riot's Carlos Cavazo.
Well, you just get a bunch of metal musicians.
Yeah, that's pretty much
band,
the way
right?
it goes, yeah. I don't know why I didn't put those together to make my life easier, but whatever. Not appearing on the soundtrack is Booty Time, the song that Ed O'Neill's character performs during the film. That should have been on the soundtrack. I don't know why the hell it wasn't.
Well, it's because he probably didn't want to bother actually creating an entire song. Now, that would be amazing.
If he's paid to do his work, I think that should be part of it.
It would be amazing, but like, he's just like, all you're going to get out of me is being a goof and singing Booty Time over and over again, dancing badly.
Give him $1,000 to get into a studio to do that, please.
Oh, Morris Day could have produced it.
Right? And then you can literally say you were produced by Morris Day.
Yeah.
Come on.
I don't know if that means as much to Ed O'Neill as it would to you or I.
You say that, but I doubt it. Ed O'Neill is one of the coolest human beings ever, so I would say he would probably be very cool with it. Al Bundy forever. The film won numerous Razzies at the 1999 Golden Raspberry Awards, including Worst Actor for Andrew Dice Clay, Worst Picture tying with the Bo Derek vehicle Ghost Can't Do It, and Worst Screenplay.
Which, if you've seen Ghost Can't Do It...
Yes.
Ghost Can't Do It is a far worse movie than Adventures of Ford Fairlane.
This is very true.
Listen, I get why people don't like this movie. I understand.
Yeah.
But no. No, I'm sorry.
It was also nominated for Worst Director and twice for Worst Supporting Actor for both Wayne Newton and Gilbert Gottfried.
How dare you?
Gilbert Gottfried was also nominated that year for his roles in this, Look Who's Talking 2, and Problem Child. The winner of that year was future President Donald Trump in Ghosts Can't Do It. So there's that.
He's in that movie for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, but he's a supporting actor.
Is it like a reverse Judi Dench?
A little bit.
I think Judi Dench won once for being in a movie for 10 minutes, an Oscar.
And so, I don't know the criteria. So
this guy gets a Razzie for being in a movie for 5 minutes.
I don't know the criteria for Golden Raspberries, but if you can win an Oscar for 10 minutes, I would assume you can win a Razzie for 5.
Yeah, fair enough.
The film's box office failure and Andrew Dice Clay's controversial public enemy led 20th
No, you're right the first time.
Accurate. Led 20th Century Fox to relinquish distribution rights to his next concert film, Dice Rules, which they had planned for a Christmas 1990 release. It was eventually released by Warner Brothers, and it was nominated for several Razzie Awards, including Worst Picture, Worst Actor for Andrew Dice Clay, and Worst Screenplay, which doesn't make sense, because it's a concert film. It's him doing stand-up.
They've also nominated documentaries.
That's dumb.
I know.
But anyway.
It's just that they want to take their shots because he's not safe for work, right?
That's insane. That makes no sense. Because first of all, screenplay, there's no screenplay. It's stand-up.
The notes he took down on a napkin.
Yeah, that's stretching the fucking. I mean, not that I'm trying to besmirch the good name of the Golden Raspberries, but I mean that's stretching it a lot.
We get it. You don't like Andrew Dice Clay.
Yes. Despite negative reviews in the U.S., the film enjoyed tremendous success in post-communist Hungary, where copies of pirated VHS dubbed versions were widely circulated. The film's popularity in Hungary has been attributed to a high-quality dub starring iconic eccentric musician and actor Fero Nagy, which contains gratuitous use of profanity not found in the original English version of the film. Several lines of dialogue from the film became ingrained in the slang of Hungarian urban youth culture throughout the 90s. So not only was this movie popular, it fucking was a cultural phenomenon in Hungary.
My wife's Hungarian. Maybe I'll ask her parents about Ford Fairlane.
When I wrote that down, I should have immediately texted her, be like, "Have you ever seen this? And is it your favorite movie because of this?" Was she ever born? Was she born there? No,
sure.
Okay,
her parents were born there, so I'd ask them.
Her parents might know. Yeah. There you go. In Norway, after its 1992 VHS release, Ford Fairlane soon became a phenomenon. The catchphrases became hugely popular, and the movie received cult status during the 90s.
What weird places for this movie to just go off.
After huge demand from Norwegian audiences, the film was released on DVD in the early 2000s. It also became quite popular in Spain, especially due to the dub by the popular singer, actor, and comedian Pablo Carbonell. This movie is popular somewhere. In 3 places, this movie is a big deal, and in one of them, it's a goddamn cultural phenomenon. It changed the way people talk. This fucking movie.
They got Ford Fairlane Day in fucking Budapest or something.
Apparently. Jesus.
Right on. Rock and roll. Mm-hmm. So we do get to the adventures of Ford Fairlane.
Yes, we do.
Ford, with a typical detective noir type VO beginning, it
basically starts at the end, every fucking film noir ever has.
This movie runs the numbers on how to make a noir movie.
Yeah, it's a paint-by-numbers noir movie, which works to its benefit.
Yeah. So he's like, it started with a, girl, I think.
Mm-hmm. It usually does.
And then cut to concert footage of Black Plague with Vince Neil coming in, fucking Shawn Michaels style on a zip line, then being set ablaze.
Which is funny because I guess with his singing, they don't sound like anyone other than Motley Crue.
Yeah.
This is just straight up Motley Crue without the rest of them.
Yeah. So he's singing after being lit on fire and then put out.
Which, wow, that seems like a lot of work.
He's singing, he's not singing, he's going down, they're still playing music, and he's dead.
Yeah.
So I hope you enjoyed your Vince Neil cameo.
Because we're done now. We
get Ford, who, like some of these other movies, like the other Adventures movie with Buckaroo Banzai, is like the most important guy in the guy. World. When Ford shows up,
the place stops.
Yeah. Everyone stops.
He's the rock and roll detective.
So he rocks up, literally rocks up to the bar.
And by the way, yes, that impression will happen a lot, so deal with it.
Everyone's like, Ford. The girl smacks him, and then she kisses him. Her twin sister does the same.
Gross.
Yeah.
Implied that they fucked. Grosser.
We get Don Cleveland, played by Morris Day. He's their buddies. Ford's coming, make his drink, which is a Kahlua milkshake, which would be disgusting.
It's not Kahlua, it's Zambuca.
Zambuca.
Which is even worse.
Sorry, Zambuca milkshake.
Kahlua milkshake could happen. Zambuca is disgusting.
See, Kahlua is a cream, but Zambuca isn't.
No, Zambuca is like coconut vodka, isn't it?
I think so.
I'm gonna look it up. But yeah, no, Kahlua would work because you usually mix Kahlua with cream and vodka for a White Russian.
Right.
So that would work. Heavy cream instead, which I'm like, why don't... As soon as you said Kahlua, I'm like, yeah, Kahlua milkshake would be dope. Why haven't I done that?
Zambuca.
But Zambuca
and then they
is
set it
disgusting.
ablaze like a flaming moe.
Yeah.
He drinks...
Which I believe is how you do Zambuca. Like, I've taken shots of it. You put it... I mean, you don't put it in a fucking milkshake. You pour a shot of it with a coffee bean, ironically, and then you light it on fire, you blow it out, and you take the shot, and it's delicious. But I've never heard of it in a milkshake, and I would not want to do it now.
He's critiquing it, and he's like, it's good, it's not great, but you're getting better. Mm-hmm. And like the bartender's like, oh, thank you for your gracious. Like,
well, he's the rock and roll detective.
But he's there on business. He's working for the band, the Pussycats. Mm-hmm. Who are being stalked by Sam the Sleazebag. I don't know if that's his actual name.
I assume his name is Mr. Sleazebag.
I don't know if it's Sam T. Sleazebag.
I would guess it is. I do not know how to spell Sambuca, by the way.
Played by David Patrick Kelly, who's making, I think, a second appearance.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's Anais, which basically it's like licorice.
Oh, okay. Well, still gross.
Wouldn't work.
Still gross.
Yeah.
So he's basically, don't touch the girls, don't go near the girls. He's got a case full of stuff from the band.
Yes.
His own, personal portable shrine. And once he shows them the picture, it's like, oh, good for my shrine. No, yeah. I'm showing you the picture and tell you to stay away from these fucking people, you creep. Mm-hmm. Picks him up, does the old fucking Old West move of pushing him against the bar.
He says to him, he's like, in about 10 seconds, this is going to be the most embarrassing moment of your life. And then he puts him on the bar, and it takes him even longer than 10 seconds to start. And then he, literally runs him across. I'm like, that's supposed to be fast, not slow.
Stop to tell a joke. But, would you like to see our wine selection? And then it just keeps going.
But as he's doing it, I'm like, this is the most brutal one of these I've ever seen, because he's so slow, the glass is breaking. And I'm like, if this were real glass, this dude is getting cut the fuck up.
Which he doesn't.
Yes.
So he runs away. Fucking Ford Fairlane shoots out a gun from his sleeve, hits his target, which was a disco ball, falls on the guy, doesn't kill him, which it would have.
That would absolutely kill you.
I thought that's him killing him. Mm-hmm. And then we get one of many. Clint Eastwood, I fucked him.
Oh!
Which is like, I don't know why the gay guy's getting upset. He mentions several men in this movie, and follows it with, I fucked him.
But doesn't he also say television? So I think whatever it is, he's just fucking it.
Yeah.
He
just puts his dick in everything.
Yeah.
As most people did in the late 80s, early 90s.
Did a bunch of coke, and then they put their dick in stuff. That's what happened.
So, another staple of the noir, at least in Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
He has a kid sidekick.
Yep. Always.
Who's, basically an adult, but a kid.
Yeah.
He's got a mouth on him, he says fuck and everything. Where'd you learn how to talk like that? He's mimicking as, Dice is putting a cigarette in his mouth. He's putting a cigarette in his mouth. He lights his. He's gonna light the cigarette for the kid. He's like, get that out of your mouth. He takes off to go to his office.
Well, because the kid's just like, did you find him yet?
Yeah.
And Dice is like, no. And then, basically, the kid's looking for his father.
Through the entire film.
Yeah,
he's
got a ring that matches.
We gotta find my dad. Mm-hmm. So he goes to his office, who has just Tone Loc and his boys just out front.
Just randomly rapping. Which is awesome. And I want that in my life.
He hassles him a little bit, but he's like, no, I love your stuff. You're great. Mm-hmm. Walks in. His loyal sidekick / secretary / love interest, but then not really, but then love interest again.
I mean, this is
again,
not
I think it's a noir thing.
Not like this.
No, not like this, but like the detective always has the
he's
secretary
got his girl Friday.
Unacquainted live.
He's got his girl Friday, which... Ironically, a mutual friend of ours was the drummer in a band called His Girl Friday.
So the Pussycats show up and they pay him with a gold bracelet, which they imply can pay his rent for a while.
Yeah.
But he doesn't seem too jazzed about it, so he gives it the jazz.
Yeah, because apparently he's been just constantly paid with items.
The problems of a rock and roll detective, all they give you is knickknacks.
Yeah. Like he's paid with guitars and shit like that, and he's just like, well, I can't pay my rent with the fucking guitar.
Although it is a surprise possession.
One of them, yes.
Also given to him by the Pussycats, a koala.
Just Because he's got a fucking koala. They're Australian, so I guess it makes sense, because apparently Australians just walk around with koalas in their back pocket, which I want to believe. I'm not going to lie.
And this koala just becomes his buddy.
Yeah,